Hello everybody and welcome. Okay, I don't know what that was about there, that lag. But yeah, today we are going to be taking a look at the new Ocelot Virtue. Now I've just got done, hold on a minute. There we go. Just got done with the first dose, well not the first dose mission, the last dose missions. And really, if you do them all, you can get this for free. And it's apparently just sitting, oh my god. Wow. Look at that. Mine. Put that in my office garage. 3. Oh, she fast. Pretty good interior. Obviously just a reused interior, but it's an interior that I like, so yeah. Now, how fast does that say? Does that say 100 and... Wait. We go... Oh, you idiot! Learn to drive, AI. Come on. This thing has really crazy acceleration to it. And it actually seems to get curb boost. So, okay. Oh man, that is really zoomed out on third person though. That is some of the best traction for an electric car I have seen, possibly ever. That is really good traction. It's about to rain. Okay, well this is not going to be very fair now because it's about to rain. Alright. So, we're actually going to take this thing up to the agency. So this thing has a unique license plate. I'm actually going to keep that on there. Because that's pretty cool. I like that. So I'm going to keep that plate on there. So this thing so far, stock, actually goes really, really fast. This is a sweet looking car though. Now this car is actually based on the Lotus, I think you call it the Ageva, or the Ageva, or whatever it is. But it just looks amazing. What, people? LJT, stop texting me. But yeah. Here we go. Let's see what we can do to it. Oh, them tail lights are sick. Like them brake lights, they are sweet looking. I love cars like this, to have the tail lights like the brake lights cover the entire back. Reminds me a lot of the Buffalo S. Look at that. Look how cool they look. Oh man. So we're already starting off with aerials. Not really aerials though. These are canards. Whew. I'm not gonna rice this thing out. Armor plating. So yeah, you can. This isn't a Monty Tech car. That's why I wanted to take this into the agency. Oh wow. I really like these splitters right here, but I also kind of like these ones. That one's nice. Yeah, I want the primary street splitter. Oh man. Like a bolt-on diffuser. Engine, will max it out. Any more engine mods I can do? Trunk. Carbon stock. Obviously we'll do carbon. Lower the suspension. Do a black power metal strip. I'm actually going to do that. Alright, this is what I'm interested in. Jeez. How many times has this wing been used for these cars? Honestly, I kind of like this wing that's already on it. Which is like a carbon one. Roof. GT Racing Scoop. Proximity mine? No. I don't like that stuff on these cars. Carbon mirrors. It better not be a repeat of the Xeno. Oh. Check that out. Classic Sport. Oh, it's like the actual car. That's cool. Black diagonal racing stripe, like a two-tone. I like that. I really like this, though. Look at that. Alright, Imani Tech, Missile Lockjammer, obviously. Canards. I actually really like these ones. These are cool. Alright, now, bumpers. Already put bumpers on, that's right. We're gonna go respray. Let's see how cool we can actually make this thing look. I really liked that red one. Holy. Okay, how does white look on this thing? Not nearly as good as I thought it was gonna look. So yeah, we're gonna do the red. Put Torino red with a black pearlescent. That way we can still get the black. Actually, we'll just do like a black steel. Trim color. Oh, check that out. The lining actually gets changed by your primary color in there. What does secondary color change? I'm not sure if it'll actually show up on this livery. Yeah, I don't think it's going to show up on this livery. Oh, well. Oh, it's like the top part of it. Alright, we're just going to make this car all one color then. That'd be the same Torino. Bulletproof tires, we'll put them on there. The stock rims actually look pretty nice, I'm going to keep them on there. Windows, do I want to tint these windows at all? Not really. Oh, well, this thing don't feel half bad in the interior. Alright. The Ocelot logo is your reverse light. That is so cool. See the high beam on this thing. Okay. Oh, God. This is way too fast for what I'm used to anyway. Oh, my God. Is that 120? It's the Cyclone 2. But, like, it's basically an Imani Tech Cyclone 2. It can actually drift decently well. You wouldn't really expect that from electric cars either, especially ones that are grippy like this, but I guess this thing has something else to say. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. This thing is not good whatsoever in the rain. I'm going to change that plate to be black on yellow. Give me one moment. I forgot to do that earlier. What does this thing sell for? Okay, so it is a free car, so I can't really sell for anything. Plate. There we go. I'm gonna keep that mindful plate on there. I wonder if that actually gives you the plate, so you can use that on any of your cars. I'm very curious if that gives you that as a custom plate. Holy dude. It feels so much faster than it's actually going. Like, it looks really good though. It actually does not feel half bad. It's all-wheel drive, electric. And it's a really grippy car. Like, even in the rain here, it's actually doing really nicely. Now, on highways so far, it's actually holding up really well. The interior actually feels really nice to be in. So, yeah, we're just cruising at this point. The mirrors actually work decently well in this car. And you can actually see them pretty well, too. Oh, that lightning was swift. Wow, that lightning was sick. Couldn't speak there for a second. I apologize for that. But yeah, overall, this car feels great, handles great, looks great. Now, we are in the rain, so we're at top speed right now. We're at 120. It's really trying to get back to 119, though, but I've heard the top speed of this car is actually 118. So far, I'm getting readings of 120, but that's probably because of the rain situation, so yeah. Now, let's test out the brakes on the ramp. At full force, really good. That was actually way better. Now, it doesn't have that thing if I rev it. So if I rev it now, it just goes like 40. I might do a burnout with it. Does it have a speed? Okay. It will read very interesting numbers if you do that. And it will really launch. Holy crap. That was a really, really good launch for what it should have been. Yeah, but you can actually see stuff in these freaking rear view mirrors for once. It actually is a really nice car if you're going to drive in first person. Also, usually with this interior specifically, whenever Rockstar makes this interior, usually the steering wheel is actually not centered. That is not the case here. It is actually centered. And also, you can clearly see you can clearly read the speedometer. Like, you can clearly see it. You can't really see that your headlights are on without ducking down, but like, you can clearly see the speedometer. And it also, if I just stop it here, look at the brake, like the entire brake lights, like, no, it's the entire tail lights that take up the entire back. Oh, that's so cool. Now let's open up all the doors. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, okay. So they are butterfly doors as we saw when I first got into it. Oh, I like how that red is on the bottom of that door. That is sweet. That little tiny frunk. That's adorable. Alright. So, overall, I'm going to say this much about this car right now. This, in terms of electric hypercars that Rockstar has made, and I'm going to, since this thing is going to be $2.9 million when it's released, I am going to just base it off of the Tesseract that costs $2.8 million. Okay, I'm going to be comparing it to that. But at the same time, I'm also going to compare it to the Cyclone 2 because this thing performs very similar to it, and I think it actually has the same interior as the Cyclone 2. So here's what I'm going to say about the. Actually, no, this doesn't have the same interior as the Cyclone 2. This actually has the same interior as the XA21. But okay, we'll start by comparing it to the Tesseract, which is at a similar price point. This thing has way more traction than the Tesseract does. The top speed is not nearly as high as the Tesseract, but overall it handles way better than the Tesseract does, and I think that, and also it accelerates way harder off the line than the Tesseract could ever dream of. Now, I don't think this, I don't know exactly if this car would get beaten by the Tesseract or not in like an airport race, but around a circuit, this would absolutely dominate the Tesseract, no doubt about it. Now, as for the Cyclone 2, if we're talking about the stock variant, they're basically the same car, except this one is actually in a Monitech variant of the Cyclone 2, basically, just with a completely different body and a completely different feel of driving it. The Cyclone 2 HSW is way faster for top speed and acceleration. However, it still is not in a Monitech car. So that's the advantage that we have here. Also, not to mention that this thing has the same explosive resistance as the Omnis EGT. That was found out by the community. I'm not going to test it here because we already pretty much knew that to begin with. But on top of that, you can also put, like, you know, missile jammers and stuff like that on this car. So it's awesome. Overall, this is easily a 10 out of 10 DLC vehicle. And in fact, I think that this would definitely be a must-buy. Now, here's the thing, though. I do not in any way recommend actually buying this car. Instead, I think that you guys should go through the last dose missions just like I did here, because you can't actually buy it right now. You know, you actually have to do the missions if you want to get it. Now, I guess if you have GTA Plus, you could just get the car without having to worry about anything. But if you haven't done the missions and you don't have GTA Plus, then you can't get the car. You can't actually buy it yet because that's still being drip fed. But you can still get it via the missions, so I recommend doing that anyway because the missions are actually pretty fun. It's a pretty interesting story. There's not very many missions, and they, again, just kind of abruptly end. But at the same time, though, it's still a pretty good storyline, and I still highly recommend doing that over buying this thing for $2.9 million. Almost said $9 million there. But yeah, $2.9 million is way overpriced for this thing, so just get it for free because you can and you should. Now, do you need this vehicle per se? Well, honestly, I'd say absolutely. It's literally in a Monitech supercar that you can't get locked onto it. What more could you need? And keep in mind that this entire time I've been driving this thing down the highway in the rain, and I have not really slid out. I have not really had any problems turning it. Even though, oh my god, this thing packs a punch just like the Scramjet does. But yeah, I haven't really been spinning out. I haven't been losing control of this car. I have no problem with weaving in between traffic. It has no problem with catching traction. And that's definitely something to consider for the city here. You can see just how good this thing is going to be for the city if I just take some corners here. See, it doesn't really break loose that much. It does some decent drifts. It accelerates like no tomorrow. It is so insanely powerful on that acceleration. Yeah, I don't really got much else to say about the Ocelot Virtue here, other than it is an absolute godsend of a car. I love this thing. It is so cool. I'm not even that big of a fan of like electric cars, but this thing, it's awesome. It has really good customization too. Like the liveries, I really like the liveries, especially this whole British flag one. It looks pretty cool, and it's definitely a nice looking livery, and also has some pretty cool customizations with it, with the primary and secondary color. I really like what they did there. Yeah, and also you get this cool, mindful, custom license plate. Again, like, what more could you really want? So, yeah, that is going to do it for today's review. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did, because this is a great car. I will drop my overall DLC review hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I can get the final review out, because as much as I love this car, I'm not really sure what to think at this point. I originally said that I might give this entire DLC a 2 or 3 out of 10, but my rating actually may go much higher now after I've played the last dose missions, because they were actually really well done. I was very impressed. The first mission was not very good, but apart from that, I was very impressed with them, and this car is well worth it. So yeah, please, by all means, go out there, get this car, customize it, put it in your garage, and be proud of it. It's a beautiful car, and a beautiful addition, and a beautiful just breath of fresh air to the car scene in this game. Yeah, that's all I really got to say about this. Peace out, guys, and have a great night.